Morgan, that doesn't do me any good.
It's time for Mountain Crest High School Sports, a presentation of 107.7 KLZX and CashValleyDaily.com. Made possible by the support of our sponsors, DD Auto and Salvage, Adams Wealth Advisors, Mountain Crest Booster Club, State Farm Agent Lana Powell, Cache Valley Daily, Young Toyota and Young Honda, Napa Auto Parts, Les Olson IT, The Logo Shop, and Planet Fitness. Now, it's time for the Mountain Crest Mustangs on 107.7 KLZX. Great Basin Graphics has quality screen printing, detailed embroidery, and award-winning graphic designers. The right look, the right design, the perfect fit. Get noticed with GBG. Get your order in today for spring products. Google Great Basin Graphics for screen printing and embroidery. 966 West 400 North in Logan.
Searching for copiers and printers? Les Olson IT has what you need. Find reliable HP printers, award-winning sharp copiers, and high-end Ricoh graphic systems.
Les Olson IT.
From what's happening in local political elections, to breaking news, to photo galleries and replays of the latest games. If it's happening in our community, it's on CashValleyDaily.com and the Cache Valley Daily app. Local, relevant news on CashValleyDaily.com.
Insurance is exciting.
Are you kidding me? However, Lana Powell's State Farm Insurance makes buying insurance a little less painful. Call 752-7639 for a quick quote.
They really can put your logo on just about anything. That's what they do at the Logo Shop. Businesses, teams, booster clubs, school organizations, call the Logo Shop and have them show you the possibilities. The Logo Shop, committed to schools, teams, and youth groups.
When a client walks into the office, I want them to feel like they have a team that is full-time working for them.
We really start from the ground up, setting our goals, understanding your situation, and then building the plan to maximize that quality of life.
Visit Adams Wealth Advisors.
At Planet Fitness, you'll get energy without the judgment.
Hi, can you help me with this? This is better.
Join the judgment-free zone today for $15 a month. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
The Mountain Crest Booster Club encourages you to support the sponsors that support the Mustangs. Scabelin Roofing, Pool Orthodontics, Reed's Pharmacy, Airbound Gymnastics, Blue Water Construction, Mitco Landscaping, and Ridley's Market. To join the Mountain Crest Booster Club, contact the Mountain Crest Athletic Department and support the sponsors that support the Mustangs.
Suit up, feel good. Custom tailored clothing for him and her. The Cater Shop, because how you look is the first message you deliver.
Find the parts and the oil you need to keep your car and equipment running its best at your locally owned Napa Auto Parts. All the best brand names. And when you need professional help, Napa can recommend a dozen Napa Car Care Centers with ASE certified technicians.
I have a deal for you. I'll turn the cable back on when you get my kitchen floor finished.
How do I do that in time to watch my team win?
Use the expert help at Castalite. For all your brick, block, rock, paver, and tile needs, Castalite.com.
When your car isn't working right, you just need someone who can help make your life a little easier. Cache Valley Auto Care can. Hear what people are saying online.
They'll always take the time to help you understand what they're doing to your car and go above and beyond to solve your issue.
Cache Valley Auto Care.
DD Auto and Salvage is going to pay you the most for junk vehicles. Get rid of your junk vehicles today. Pickup is available. DD Auto and Salvage in Logan. Call 787-1204. That's 787-1204 today. See store for details.
Great Basin Graphics has quality screen printing, detailed embroidery, and award-winning graphic designers. The right look, the right design, the perfect fit. Get noticed with GBG. Get your order in today for spring products. Google Great Basin Graphics for screen printing and embroidery. 966 West 400 North in Logan.
Searching for copiers and printers? Les Olson IT has what you need. Find reliable HP printers, award-winning sharp copiers, and high-end Ricoh graphic systems.
Les Olson IT.
From what's happening in local political elections, to breaking news, to photo galleries and replays of the latest games. If it's happening in our community, it's on CashValleyDaily.com and the Cache Valley Daily app. Local, relevant news on CashValleyDaily.com.
Insurance is exciting.
Are you kidding me? However, Lana Powell State Farm Insurance makes buying insurance a little less painful. Call 752-7639 for a quick quote.
Hello and welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to Taylor, Utah, home of the Longhorns of Westfield, brand new school. I am Cody Olson, your voice of the Mountain Crest Mustangs.
Yes, you are.
There you go. I'm the voice of the Mountain Crest Mustangs. I'm joined here with Coach John Olson to my left as my color analyst, all-around good guy. Coach, we're here.
Yes.
Get used to it.
That's right. The girls, Mountain Crest girls, pull out a win here. Took a little long, but good win for Mountain Crest girls. Now we're here for the boys to start out.
Right. The Lady Mustangs were able to get the W against the Longhorns not moments ago. And it was a hard-fought battle. Think of World War I type of trench warfare.
It was.
How, you know, like the trench lines never moved for months on end.
Yes.
That is reminiscent maybe a little bit of like that gritty win that the Mustangs had just a moment ago for the ladies. For the boys, we get ready for tip-off in approximately 14 minutes from now. It gives us time for you and me, the listener, and coach, to get acquainted again. Once again, on the broadcast, we'll talk a little bit about the Mustangs, what they've done this past week. There's been a little bit of a switch-up in terms of the starting lineups, and I think that we had really an insightful discussion with Coach talking about, hey, we got to get different people out on the floor. We want to get different combinations, and that little switch-up actually really, I feel like it worked to the benefit of the Mustangs. They improved in their game against Preston a couple days ago, and then they also got the win against Star Valley yesterday by 10. So it was a good little switch-up the Mustangs have got going on right now.
Yeah, they do, and it's, talking to Coach before, a lot of things have happened before region started where, they've had a hard time coming together with Dimitrikov getting hurt, some other things going on. He's had to go into the bench, pull out, some people who weren't starting. And, really, the last two games has looked really good, like you said, for Mountain Crest. They lost to Preston, but Preston is an amazing basketball team. So it's just one of those things, it's really hard to beat Preston. But then again, like you say, they go up to Wyoming. They beat Star Valley yesterday. Quick turnaround, coming here tonight to face Westfield.
Yeah, it's going to be the first inaugural meeting ever on the hardwood between the Mustangs and the Longhorns of Westfield. We'll look anxiously forward to the conclusion. Mountain Crest trying to get back really into that win column. Their total record right now, Mountain Crest, I believe, is 6-8. Is that correct? Right.
Yes.
I'm going to put you right on the spot.
You're going to put me right on the spot.
I believe that
it's 5-8.
5-8.
5-8.
5-8 right now.
1-1 in region, 5-8. Yep.
There you go. So, and now they're trying to get a little bit closer to that 500 mark. Region play, of course, they started with a win against Logan, dropped one against Green Canyon well. So that's kind of where they're at with another region game happening here tonight with the newly adopted Longhorns of Westfield. Walking around the high school, squeaky clean.
Yeah.
It's
brand new.
It's brand spanking new.
Yep.
So brand new that the football program didn't even have, I think, their field.
When it
started, it took a little while to get things kind of going.
Mountain Crest, we did come up here and play them on their field when it was finally finished. And Mountain Crest was one of the first teams they played on their field.
That wasn't the only team that Mountain Crest had to kind of, host again, because I believe Brigham City and Box Elder were also
had a very similar situation
without a field.
Their field was not done, so we had to go up to Mountain Crest.
There you go. Well, Coach, I want to expand a little bit more upon the importance or maybe the strategy here of switching up the lineups that we've seen so far. in the early goings of the season. Up until about that Preston game, we had seen very similar players playing together, and now we're seeing a plethora of different combinations. As a coach, what does that do for you and your kids when you reach in and you're like, okay, maybe I need to find somebody else. Maybe this person pairs well with this person, and we're switching things up here. What's the purpose of that? Why do you do it?
Well, talking with Coach in the pregame, when I was able to go grab him and talk about it, what he really wants to emphasize to this team is playing as a team at this point. If they're going to win, it's going to be as a team. They've got to pull it together and, everybody use all of their skills out there. He needs kids playing defense, playing offense, being aggressive, and at the right times. That's the key, is being aggressive at the right times. And, they've got the skills, they've got everything they need. It's just going to be that working together as a team to make sure that this all comes together.
Westfield, of course, we can't talk about the Longhorns without talking about the fact that this is a team that's had to kind of come together on the fly from this last year. Westfield pulling primarily, I believe, from Fremont and other Ogden schools around the area. These kids have chosen to come here at this time to be under their new program and new head coach here at Westfield, head coach Mike Russell. And so, when you have a situation where you have a school split like this, Coach, maybe you've had a situation similar to this.
A little bit.
What does it mean to you knowing that these kids I've elected and really decided, hey, I want to come here and represent this school. I want to play this way. I want to be together with these kids. Like, is there anything special that goes along with that and kind of making that decision beforehand?
Yeah, obviously a split along boundaries. I'm not sure if they gave the seniors the option to stay at their high school and graduate, kind of like how they did up in our valley whenever they split a school. They let the seniors have the option. I don't know if they were given the option here or not, but they are a fairly young team. They do have 2 seniors on their squad, McCormick and Slaw. Yeah, McCormick and Slaw are their 2 seniors. And then from there, it's mostly juniors, freshmen, and some sophomores thrown in there as well. So it's interesting because even though, they're a new school, they are a young basketball team. And so a lot of these kids are going to get the chance to play a couple years together. 2 seniors that this will be it for them, but everybody else kind of get to know the coach, get to know, the system, because every coach has a different system coming in.
Absolutely. So. And, talking and watching Westfield a little bit as they played their game against Preston, that was their last game. It was a tightly contested battle. Westfield, looking at their scores, so comparable, really, to Mountain Crest. A lot of common opponents that we've seen throughout the season. Westfield is a team that can get really streaky, and they can shoot well and shoot really hot, and they can also go really cold. That might be very familiar if we've been watching the Mustangs this year as well. So it's going to be very, crossing yourself up in the mirror. That's kind of what's going to be tonight.
It is. You've got 2 kind of Jekyll and Hyde teams playing each other tonight. Who's going to be Jekyll? Who's going to be Hyde? It'll be interesting to see. So, it's going to be a fun game because on paper they match up really well, both teams. But again, at least on the Mountain Crest side, it's going to take a lot of time to, gel again now that we've mixed it up a little bit. But a lot of these kids have played together on JV for a lot of years. So it'll be fun to see.
It will be a fun one. We'll go ahead and take a quick break here on the pregame show. Our pregame coverage today brought to you in part by Napa Auto Parts, the parts and oil you need to keep your car and equipment running its best. Locally owned and operated from Preston to Providence, Napa Auto Parts. We'll take a break, come back to you for our final thoughts before the national anthem, and we get ready for tip-off and our starting lineups right after this here on 107.7 KLZX.
Great Basin Graphics has quality screen printing, detailed embroidery, and award-winning graphic designers. The right look, the right design, the perfect fit. Get noticed with GBG. Get your order in today for spring products. Google Great Basin Graphics for screen printing and embroidery. 966 West 400 North in Logan.
Searching for copiers and printers? Les Olson IT has what you need. Find reliable HP printers, award-winning Sharp copiers, and high-end Ricoh graphic systems.
Les Olson IT.
From what's happening in local political elections, to breaking news, to photo galleries and replays of the latest games. If it's happening in our community, it's on CashValleyDaily.com and the Cache Valley Daily app. Local, relevant news on CashValleyDaily.com.
Insurance is exciting.
Are you kidding me? However, Lana Powell State Farm Insurance makes buying insurance a little less painful. Call 752-7639 for a quick quote.
They really can put your logo on just about anything. That's what they do at the Logo Shop. Businesses, teams, booster clubs, school organizations, call the Logo Shop and have them show you the possibilities. The Logo Shop, committed to schools, teams, and youth groups.
When a client walks into the office, I want them to feel like they have a team that is full-time working for them.
We really start from the ground up, setting our goals, understanding your situation, and then building the plan to maximize that quality of life.
Visit Adams Wealth Advisors.
At Planet Fitness, you'll get energy without the judgment.
Hi, can you help me with this? This is better.
Join the judgment-free zone today for $15 a month. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
The Mountain Crest Booster Club encourages you to support the sponsors that support the Mustangs. Scabelin Roofing, Pool Orthodontics, Reed's Pharmacy, Airbound Gymnastics, Blue Water Construction, Mitco Landscaping, and Ridley's Market. To join the Mountain Crest Booster Club, contact the Mountain Crest Athletic Department and support the sponsors that support the Mustangs.
Suit up, feel good. Custom tailored clothing for him and her. The Cater Shop, because how you look is the first message you deliver.
Find the parts and the oil you need to keep your car and equipment running its best at your locally owned Napa Auto Parts. All the best brand names. And when you need professional help, Napa can recommend a dozen Napa Car Care Centers with ASE certified technicians.
I have a deal for you. I'll turn the cable back on when you get my kitchen floor finished.
How do I do that in time to watch my team win?
Use the expert help at Castelite. For all your brick, block, rock, paver, and tile needs, Castelite.com.
When your car isn't working right, you just need someone who can help make your life a little easier. Cache Valley Auto Care can. Hear what people are saying online.
They'll always take the time to help you understand what they're doing to your car and go above and beyond to solve your issue.
Cache Valley Auto Care.
DD Auto and Salvage is going to pay you the most for junk vehicles. Get rid of your junk vehicles today. Pickup is available. DD Auto and Salvage in Logan. Call 787-1204. That's 787-1204 today. See store for details.
Great Basin Graphics has quality screen printing, detailed embroidery, and award-winning graphic designers. The right look, the right design, the perfect fit. Get noticed with GBG. Get your order in today for spring products. Google Great Basin Graphics for screen printing and embroidery. 966 West 400 North in Logan.
Welcome back here to Taylor, Utah, home of the Longhorns of Westfield High School. We are getting ready for more action here on the hardwood as our officials are doing their pleasantries, shaking hands, kissing babies on the sideline here in front of the Mountain Crest bench. We're getting ready for our national anthem in a moment's time, but Coach, we wanted to give a couple seconds left to kind of touch up on maybe perhaps the keys of the game to the win for Mountain Crest tonight. Given the fact that there is a couple different lineups that we will see, I wouldn't be surprised if we see hockey lineup changes from Coach Smith tonight. What are some keys that the Mountain Crest Mustangs need to bank on in order to come away with the W?
So they've got to play some stellar defense. They also need to get rebounds. They've got to rebound the basketball tonight. And that means that those guards have got to be crashing down underneath to get those rebounds, because that has kind of been their Achilles heel in a lot of these games that they have lost, is that they are just not getting the rebounds. Even the offense or defensive rebounds where they're giving the other team a lot of extra shots. Do not give Westfield extra shots at the basket. Get your rebounds and then work your offense.
Those are your keys to the game provided by our color analyst tonight, Coach John Olson. We're going to get ready and step aside for the national anthem, get you ready for tip-off and the starting lineups in just a moment time here in Taylor, Utah. Don't go anywhere. It's Mountain Crest Basketball on CashValleyDaily.com.
Great Basin Graphics has quality screen printing, detailed embroidery, and award-winning graphic designers. The right look, the right design, the perfect fit. Get noticed with GBG. Get your order in today for spring products. Google Great Basin Graphics for screen printing and embroidery. 966 West 400 North in Logan.
Searching for copiers and printers? Les Olson IT has what you need. Find reliable HP printers, award-winning sharp copiers, and high-end Ricoh graphic systems.
Les Olson IT.
From what's happening in local political elections, to breaking news, to photo galleries and replays of the latest games. If it's happening in our community, it's on CashValleyDaily.com and the Cache Valley Daily app. Local, relevant news on CashValleyDaily.com.
Insurance is exciting.
Are you kidding me? However, Lana Powell's State Farm Insurance makes buying insurance a little less painful. Call 752-7639 for a quick quote.
They really can put your logo on just about anything. That's what they do at the Logo Shop. Businesses, teams, booster clubs, school organizations, call the Logo Shop and have them show you the possibilities. The Logo Shop, committed to schools, teams, and youth groups.
When a client walks into the office, I want them to feel like they have a team that is full-time working for them.
We really start from the ground up, setting our goals, understanding your situation, and then building the plan to maximize that quality of life.
Visit Adams Wealth Advisors.
At Planet Fitness, you'll get energy without the judgment.
Hi, can you help me with this? This is better.
Join the judgment-free zone today for $15 a month. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
The Mountain Crest Booster Club encourages you to support the sponsors that support the Mustangs. Scablin Roofing, Pool Orthodontics, Reed's Pharmacy, Airbound Gymnastics, Blue Water Construction, Midco Landscaping, and Ridley's Market. To join the Mountain Crest Booster Club, contact the Mountain Crest Athletic Department and support the sponsors that support the Mustangs.
Suit up, feel good. Custom tailored clothing for him and her. The Cater Shop, because how you look is the first message you deliver.
Find the parts and the oil you need to keep your car and equipment running its best at your locally owned Napa Auto Parts. All the best brand names. And when you need professional help, Napa can recommend a dozen Napa Car Care Centers with ASE certified technicians.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to the broadcast booth. Our starting lineups today brought to you in part by our friends at Les Olson IT. What can a business technology partner do for you? Well, they can do all the office products you need and a great service team to boot. Learn more at lesolson.com. Your starting lineups for the Mountain Crest Mustangs tonight, a different lineup for the first time that we've seen. This is the first combination that we've seen this lineup. It is Parker Andrus, Braden Larson, Mason Smith, Cale Muir, and then who was that other one that ran into the huddle?
I didn't see.
Oh man, well we'll get the third person. For the starting lineup for the Longhorns of Westfield, it is Jaden Fowers, the junior shooting guard, standing at 6'1". Falling behind him, Daxton Laughter, number 3. Number 4, Jackson Slaw, point guard, senior for the Longhorns. And then rounding things out in the front court, Aiden Ferner, the center, 6'5", 22 is his roster number, and Jordan Harrison, number 23, small forward, junior, 6'3". Your fifth person in the starting lineup for the Mustangs is Nico Dimitrikov. Of course, I think I missed. Did I miss Nico?
Nico? I don't know.
It's Nico.
Of course it's Nico.
Of course. Dimitrikov, Larson, Andrus, Muir, and Smith out on the floor for the Mustangs wearing their blue tops, blue bottoms with orange trim. We got, orange isn't a palette color that's often featured in the state of Utah at least, but we get two orange teams tonight going at it. So it should be good. Into the half circle comes our official. It is Harrison and Dimitrikov set to tip up, and the ball is won by the Mustangs as it flows into the backcourt. They will begin the offensive set, working from right to left on your radio dial. Dimitrikov to the quick pass on the near side, down low to Andrus. Underneath, double team. Got to get out of it some way, and he does at the top for Smith, who pumps right, spins on his pivot foot, and then works to the right side to Muir. No initial shot for the Mustangs as they get set up. This is a brand new starting lineup. You'd imagine that these boys have, played together well in practice, but new combination. We'll have to count how many new combinations in terms of starting lineups we get. 2 on the shot clock. Larson launches up the 3 from the corner. It is missed and rebounded by Ferner, and the Westfield Longhorns will take their possession the opposite way after a fruitless first for the Mustangs.
Using the entire clock on that, Mountain Crest was.
Driving to the basket is Laughter. He takes contact, no whistle, gets the bucket, and the quick toss out by the Mustangs trying to react and get points of their own on the opposite end of the court. Great drive by Laughter, going right in there using his right hand dominant. Dimitrikov fouled from behind as he was looking one way over across the key to try and bail, find somebody open. He gets fouled from behind by Daxton Laughter, the point guard who just made the bucket for the Longhorns on the opposite end of the court. Inside to the near side of the basket, inbound way over the top. Andrus will sky up to grab it inside the half circle. Dimitrikov triple team, floating away with the left-hand scoop. No. Bounces off, bricks out, and here come the Longhorns the opposite way. In the corner, pump fake 3, driving the baseline, wraparound pass, and it is nowhere near its intended target. That was Fowers looking for, who is number 24, Drew Faddis is who I have. That's a freshman, if I'm not mistaken, on the court.
I believe so, yeah. Faddis is a freshman, yep.
All right, we've got a freshman on the court for the Longhorns. And a quick kick ball in the back court. Good heads-up play by Jordan Harrison as he's hounding the guard lineup of the Mustangs. They got to get out of their own side of the court quickly with the full court press. Muir quickly finds Andrus. Dimitrikov calling for it, doesn't get it. Underneath, Andrus wants to go up to the bucket, loses the basketball, up for grabs, stays into the possession of the Mustangs. Larson to Andrus in the corner. He will drive, go up strong, and be fouled. A late whistle comes in as we get a second foul on the Longhorns. Will it be on the shot? I think so.
Yep, shooting 2, and I think, was that on 23?
24, they're going to call it on Faddis. And that makes sense. Faddis is 6'6", a freshman 6'6" center.
Yeah, that's a big kid.
Well, you found yourself a little unicorn out here in Weber School District.
Yes.
Here at Westfield. Love that. As Andrus knocks down the first free throw for the first points of the game for Mountain Crest. 6:16 left here in the first. The second shot goes up, rolls once, twice, and pops out. The freshman will rebound it for the Longhorns with numbers. 2-on-1 opportunity. Give it off to the left-hand side. Scoop. Layup is good by Jaden Fowers on the assist from Harrison.
Yeah, Mountain Crest just did not get back on defense.
Long lob over the top. Dimitrikov gets it, kicks it out to Muir for 3, and he misses everything. Saved by Andrus. Somehow floating out of bounds is Smith, and then he's trying to knock it off of the shoelaces of the freshman. Doesn't get it. Here come the Longhorns back again. Right now, Westfield is kind of out hustling the Mustangs.
They really are,
in the first couple minutes of this basketball game. At the top, Faddis, handoff to the point guard Slaw, driving in against Andrus, and he gets the shooter's touch roll and 1. And the Longhorns out to a 6-1 lead early with a chance to add even more points to it at the line. Larson will come out for the substitution, so too will Muir, and in comes Carden and Martinson for the Mustangs.
Like you said, we're going to see a lot of different Mustangs tonight, so...
Deep into the bench already. Coach Smith has sent a couple out. Right now, the Mountain Crest Mustangs looking for an answer. Down 7-1 after the three-point play is capitalized for the Longhorns. Caught up on the right-hand side. Dimitrikov to Smith. Opportunity as Dimitrikov goes in. Lost the handle on the basketball. Kicks it out to Andrus on the far side. He will drive and kick himself to Carden. Point guard layup from beyond the perimeter. Good. The three-point play.
Good
and that's
play.
what we want to see from Parker Andrus, that unselfish, kick it out after you suck everybody in type of play.
Exactly. You got to keep your head on a swivel.
Tough drive inside. It skips around the back of the rim twice. It's missed by the Longhorns. Here's the Mustangs patiently out in the double dribble by Mason Smith, who bobbled it, left his feet, and then didn't quite get it off in time for the clean play.
Yep. Traveled a little bit there. I guess there's no such thing as a little travel, is there?
That was a double dribble.
Oh, was that a double? I thought he did this.
Really?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, the other one did this.
Oh, I was looking at the wrong one then. Either way, it's foul.
Set up, open look for three, drained by Daxton Laughter. And we talked about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Both of these teams can get hot and cold. Right now, it is the Longhorns who are hot. Dimitrikov waits for an eternity for someone to catch up to him. He was all alone under the basket.
He was all alone under the basket. Why not just go up with it? You're alone down there.
Yep. Dimitrikov nonetheless was fouled. No bucket, but he's going to go to the line for two. That is, I mean, you've heard me all season long.
Yeah.
I'm not going to waste my breath here. Here's the first shot for Dimitrikov, and it will shoot off the left side of the rim short. No good. 10-4, about halfway through the first quarter today of the action on the hardwood here in Taylor, Utah. Our first quarter brought to you in part by the Logo Shop. Speaking of the Logo Shop, how cool are the uniforms for both of these teams tonight?
Yeah, they're really good. I love them.
Second shot missed. So 0 for 2 for Dimitrikov. That is going to be a missed opportunity there for the Mustangs. 4:20 remaining. And right now, the Longhorns working the offense like a well-oiled machine. Here on the near side is McCormick. Back up at the top. Ferner drives against Dimitrikov. Lost the basketball. It will be a blocking foul. And it will be on Nico. His first.
It looked like he just lost his feet, but it's hard to see from this angle.
Feet got tangled up as well. Inbounds coming up on the far side of the basket, looking every which way is Slaw. He's going to lob it up to the top. It takes a risky bounce just beyond the perimeter and then collected back by the point guard for the Longhorns. Near side corner, jab step, Andrus deep in the squat, trying to deny anything. It will work its way around the perimeter. Open look, find, and flying in is again Laughter for another bucket. He's an athletic kid. He's probably the smallest kid on the court outside of Mason Smith, but he's flying in the trees right now. Jump ball is called as Andrus tries to shake off Harrison on the tangle, but they're going to give the possession to the Longhorns as the possession arrow will flip. 12-4 for Westfield. Taking it to the Mustangs right now.
Yeah, it's not even close at this moment.
Slaw, near side, looking into the near side corner for Ferner. Looks for the secondary cut up at the top. McCormick driving. Kick back out to Ferner on the right side wing. Gets Dimitrikov to bite one way. Skip pass in the opposite corner. Drained it. That's Jaden Fowers, and right now, everything coming up Longhorns, and Coach Smith agrees he's going to take the timeout. It will be a 30-second. We'll keep it here. Coach, what's working for the Longhorns right now, and what's not for the Mustangs?
Well, I think Mountain Crest just looks really flat, both offensive and defensively. They're not getting their shots to go. They're, not crisp with their passes, and defensively, the Longhorns are just driving in. A lot of those points are just driving in. Right now, Laughter's got, 6 of the points. He's leading them right now, and most of his is just driving in. So, yeah, Mountain Crest got to snap out of it for sure.
That's why the timeout was taken by Coach Smith. That will be his first of the half, and that comes at a time where now, in a blink of an eye, it feels like the Mountain Crest Mustangs find themselves in an 11-point deficit. Immediately out of the timeout, we're going to get an inbound, and we're going to get a reset of the shot clock. 2 seconds had come off before the inbound came in. Smith will inbound. The Longhorns will signal and pull out the full court press. Carden caught up in the corner, picked up his dribble, launches it long. Dimitrikov has that one intercepted right in front of his nose. That's Fowers. Back the other way is the Longhorns. Kick out. Fowers all alone at the top of the arc, and it is short. Tipped around and grabbed back offensively by Westfield. Here is another three. This one off the back iron, and now we get a foul on the rebound.
And a little slap after from number 5. I'm not sure why.
Here we go.
McCormick had a little...
Was hanging on the arms of Andrus. He gives up a couple inches in terms of height. And again, the Mustangs get caught up in that near side corner. Now they break it, crossing the half-court line. Carden, kick out to Andrus. Lost the basketball. Deflected and scooped up into the arms of Mason Smith. Dimitrikov, triple teamed, back out. The Mustangs looking for something. It will be off of a left foot elbow jumper by Carden, and it will be missed. Dimitrikov
tried to steal it, got his hand on it, but not able to pull it in.
Takes out the knees of our referee, ping-ponged around in there.
Yeah.
Stays with the Longhorns. They're up 15-4 with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first quarter. The near side, right side dribble. Quick pass. Oh my goodness, what a wonderful find, but a block. Martinson able to make it up. That was a no-look pass that was rejected on the attempt by Harrison. Martinson saves the day for the Mustangs. Taking it back is Mountain Crest. Andrus. Ball goes in and out of his hands. Stolen away, but then stepping out of bounds was McCormick. So it will stay with the Mustangs on the near side of the basket. With 23 seconds on the shot clock. Near side, up and over the top, Martinson. Gets a screen from Dimitrikov, gets a matchup that he wants, and he gets rejected at the top of his arc of the shot. Here comes in a scoop layup by Laughter. I don't know how he was able to get it up in there, but he does, splitting the double team. Andrus caught up on the near side block, throws it right into the body of Laughter, and now everything falling apart for the Mustangs. Here's Laughter again, and he will be fouled this time on the drive.
Yeah.
So turnovers, poor passing by the Mustangs has led to fast break points for Westfield, and here we go. I mean, it's just...
We talked about it off air, and I was going to bring it up on air and hadn't, but Mountain Crest this year have had several games that are back-to-back. They play a game and then immediately have a game the next day. And they have not done well bouncing back on that second game. All year they've kind of struggled to do that.
The first shot up and in by Laughter, and they gave the points to Mountain Crest. Now they fix it 18-4, make that 19-4. Just a beautiful start out of the blocks if you are the Longhorns.
Yeah.
And then, and we get some substitutions. Pugmire is going to come into the ball game looking for something different and a presence inside. Full court press again by the Longhorns. Waiting for Mountain Crest to get caught up in the corner. Good pass from Carden cross court from near to far, and now the Mustangs able to break it. They have 24 seconds on the shot clock to work with. Martinson has to scoop the pass off of his knees, gives it right back, almost thrown out of bounds, and it's been poor passing really for the Mustangs.
It really has, yeah. They've really struggled with the pass.
Double team at the top. Martinson for three, fading away. Hits, needed points for the Mustangs from beyond the arc. And we've had one free throw make and then two three-point makes, and that's been it for the Mustangs. It's kept them in it. Down 12 now. Toss inside the key. Back out to the top for Slaw. Near side now. Closing out, we got a brand new lineup for the Longhorns. Slaw for three. Off the front of the rim, it will go out of bounds. Dimitrikov trying to box out his competitor, Kaysen Milan, the 6'4 junior. So you got a couple different faces out there for the Longhorns, and they've been dipping into their deep bench as well.
Yeah, they have gone deep into their bench. Not generally, they don't go so deep, but it'll be interesting to see.
Trey Cooper into the game for the Mustangs on the substitution. Take this for what you will, as Dimitrikov goes inside, gets caught up inside the key, floats away, and gets fouled. So he'll go to the line for two. Take this for what you will. We were watching Trey in warm-ups, and I think the kid made something like 12 threes in a row, did not miss once.
No.
So
he was on fire. Now they just got to work it around and get him open. Mountain Crest has got, they've already dug themselves in a hole. They've really got to come on fire and get some points going in this second half.
Dimitrikov, his shot will get a friendly bounce, front, back, and in. Second shot will not go, and it will be rebounded back by the Longhorns. Slaw, the one to find it in the far side corner. 30 seconds left in the first. Longhorns will slow it down as coach for Westfield, head coach Mike Russell, will tell the team that, hey, let's slow it down a little bit. About a 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Inside, all alone, turning away, mid-post. Jumper is down and in for Jaden Fowers. 7 seconds on the shot clock now, or rather the game clock for the Mustangs. Smith back up to the top. Martinson sidesteps, takes a deep three, and it will hit the front of the rim and pop off and out. End of one. Westfield 21, Mountain Crest 8. We'll take the break, come back right after this on 107.7 KLZX and CashValleyDaily.com.
Great Basin Graphics has quality screen printing, detailed embroidery, and award-winning graphic designers. The right look, the right design, the perfect fit. Get noticed with GBG. Get your order in today for spring products. Google Great Basin Graphics for screen printing and embroidery. 966 West 400 North in Logan.
Searching for copiers and printers? Les Olson IT has what you need. Find reliable HP printers, award-winning Sharp copiers, and high-end Ricoh graphic systems.
Les Olson IT.
From what's happening in local political elections, to breaking news, to photo galleries and replays of the latest games. If it's happening in our community, it's on CashValleyDaily.com and the Cache Valley Daily app. Local, relevant news on CashValleyDaily.com.
Welcome back here to Westfield High School in Taylor, Utah. I've been a member of this community for a long time.
Well, not this one, but the one over there.
I've been a member of the state of Utah for a hot minute.
Yes.
Have you ever heard of Taylor, Utah before? Is this new?
No, I think it might be new. I've never heard of Taylor.
New is
but then
always
again,
better.
5 years ago, there wasn't probably nothing out here.
That's true.
So,
that is true. Well, the state of Utah is growing, and we're getting new high schools all the time.
Yes, we are.
And we're probably going to get a new one in Cache Valley pretty soon. Mark that down, everybody.
Yep.
How fun will that be? Here's Mason Smith on the right side. Trey Cooper bottled up in a long pass. It looked like a soccer toss-in intended for Andrus. Will go out of bounds, and the Mustangs start off with a turnover in this second quarter.
Again, struggling with the pass. And that's when you can't get the pass right, it makes for a long night.
Laughter on the near side. Martinson stepping in front of the cross-court pass from far to near, in front of Slaw. He tips it out of bounds. Deflection, but it will stay with the Longhorns. And, I mean, this is a question that I have as well. We'll keep it here. But, like, when Ridgeline was built, obviously the Seahawks were big, right? Westfield is just a copy and paste of the University of Texas in terms of their logo and everything like that.
Everything, yeah.
So, I mean, the color scheme works. Here's a kick out of the far side wing. Up for three. In and out. No good. Rebound off the miss from Fowers. Andrus grabs it off of the rebound. Dimitrikov to Martinson. Quick pass. Cooper. This is his shot. And he goes perfect from the line in the pregame and misses his first three. No good. Rebound back to the hometown Longhorns. Laughter. Handoff at the top, and Fowers and him have done a very good job holding on to the basketball. Not a ton of turnovers for, really Westfield at this point. They've taken it well, taken care of the ball well, looked good. Corner, Fowers back up to the top for the right side wing. Dimitrikov, quick on the step, slaps it out of bounds on the deflection, stays with the Longhorns with 11 seconds on the shot clock near side of the bucket. Laughter looking for the far side corner, driving baseline, and another rejection. Stays again with the Longhorns, and I think that was Martinson who got in there and swatted it away defensively for the Mustangs.
The refs really letting them play underneath tonight.
Very opposite from the game that we watched previously.
Yes.
Here comes the freshman, left alone, and he goes up and misses it on the bunny.
Sometimes you're too open.
That's right. That was one of those instances. Andrus. Hand off to Martinson, right side. Larson back into the game for the Mustangs. Dribbles out of pressure, gives it to the left side wing. 2-3 zone shown by the Longhorns, and another rejection by the interior of the defense of Westfield. And it just feels like Mountain Crest can't get through the trees right now.
No, they really can't. In a lot of ways, they can't get out of their own way.
Larson's pass on the inbound deflected and sent out of bounds as well. So both teams really getting their hands in the way of the passing lanes.
Yep.
Been doing a good job. 18 seconds on the shot clock. Now to the sideline on the inbound. The Mustangs finally get it in. Andrus working around the horn. Cooper to Dimitrikov. Bouncing his way, pounding inside, and he gets it off the glass on the drop step. That's what they're going to need in order to get back into this game.
Yeah, they're going to need him to be very physical underneath there.
21-10, the screen at the top of the arc, near side corner, open look for three, and it will bounce out. Tipped around by Cooper, and it will stay with the Longhorns. Andrus and Coach Smith having a discussion about responsibilities of the zone.
Yep.
That corner is open, and it's kind of a weakness here, and we're going to get a timeout on the floor called by Westfield. This is a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. Down by 11, not the best start for the Mustangs.
No.
Is there anything that they can change right now in order to kind of get something a little bit better going on here?
They've got to calm down, and they've just got to start, working their offense and getting some shots in. They've got to start, it feels like there's a lid on the top of that right now. It's going to take a little bit to get that lid off. It's tough because everybody's cold right now on the Mountain Crest team. Nobody's hitting, and so somebody's got to find a hot hand right now. And defensively, they've got to come out and just lock down, especially that perimeter shooting right now by the Longhorns.
Out of the timeout, getting back into it. Mountain Crest settles into what looks to be a 2-3 zone, and it is. And quickly turned around, losing his man was Dimitrikov. It's the initial miss and grabbed on the offensive rebound by the Longhorns. Another miss. Ball up for grabs again and grabbed, and there's 3 straight possessions by Westfield. Finally inside, Dimitrikov is able to get the steal on the errant pass. Martinson with a lane to the rim, gets a little bit of contact at the pinnacle of his shot, and he'll go up to the free throw line for 2.
Yeah. On Fowers, that's his first, I believe.
It'll be Jaden Fowers, you're right. His first personal foul. First team foul of the quarter for the Longhorns as Martinson rolls the free throw in and out.
That free throw right there is kind of so indicative of how Mountain Crest is playing right now. It's so close.
Yeah.
It's come right out.
Yep. Missing the first one is Martinson, back at it again. Takes a deep breath. Ready for the second shot. It will go up and in. So 50% from the line. Cuts it down to a 10-point lead. Both teams have kind of gone a little bit cold in the first couple minutes of this second quarter. This is a chance and opportunity for Mountain Crest to find their groove, as Westfield already did it about 6 minutes ago in terms of game time. Quick passing beyond the perimeter, trying to work that zone in and out, and Westfield is doing a great job at it. Not holding it very long, going against the grain, back and forth, underneath, up and under move, and reversal by Milan is good, and that is just pristine offense by Westfield. It was precision, surgical, handling that 2-3 zone. Cooper thought about the 3 at the top of the arc after the quick pass from Larson on the right-hand side. He'll get it back, give it to Smith at the top. Step down and underneath, Andrus jabs, lost the basketball, has it stolen away by Laughter. Here come the Longhorns again, up by 12 with 4:48 in the second quarter. Longhorns kick out for 3 on the left-hand side, and that is missed. Good rebound by Andrus to rip that possession back away for the Mustangs. Smith almost lost the handles, has to collect it back at half court. Gets it back with 22 seconds on the shot clock. Andrus hounded, and it looks like just both sides of the ball are being won by the Longhorns. Dimitrikov driving in, and that one wanted to pop out at the very end, but it will nestle in after the wraparound shot to the near side of the key. 23-13.
Yeah, good move down underneath, just able to finally get that one to go.
Slaw, Fowers, and McCormick at the top. bouncing inside and fading away. It will be short, rebounded by Milan offensively and put back up and in.
And again, we're seeing too many second chances. You know, I talked about this in the pregame. They cannot give them all these second chances.
Long toss from Larson intended for Cooper. Pass was open initially. Cooper held up thinking that Larson did not see him, and then that second guess by Larson sends it out into the stands and almost into the trash can on the far side of the gym. Turnover again for the Mustangs. 3:40 remaining before halftime. Good offensive showing here for the Longhorns, led by Daxton Laughter, who's been really surgical in passing and driving to the hoop. Here he is at the top of the arc, pointing the offense the way that it needs to go. Cross-court pass, driving the baseline, finding Milan, and the double pump rejection by Pugmire somehow ends up into the arms of the Longhorns again. The second look, and this time it is Muir who steals it away for the Mustangs. Toss over the top is deflected, grabbed, taken back by the Longhorns, and somebody's got to call a whistle, and they finally do, as Jackson Slaw stole it away after playing defensive back.
Yeah.
You know, running on the hip of the intended receiver, mind you, down the sideline. Tips it and takes it back.
Yep. There was that loose ball was everywhere out there for a minute.
It was greased up. Laughter to the near side, Fowers up to Slaw, and I can hardly keep up with the passing of Westfield right now. Working, driving baseline, cross court to the left side wing, up for three, rising and nailing the shot is Jackson Slaw. And we talked about this Westfield team, how they go in, they brought Preston to a 2-point game. They won by 2, 58-56 against the Indians. We get a timeout for the Mustangs as they get trapped in that half-court trap that the Longhorns have put out. Such a streaky team.
Yeah.
So streaky. You watch their games, you know, sometimes the Longhorns can't buy a bucket, other times they can't miss.
Yeah.
Right now they're hot.
They
are red pistol hot,
right.
And the Mustangs have got to figure it out right now.
They do, and Mountain Crest is cold. I mean, it's one thing when you have a couple kids that are struggling, but Mountain Crest are having trouble dribbling the ball sometimes down underneath there. Mm-hmm. And so they have got to calm down, come out. Don't worry about the score right now and just try and chip away at this. And don't let it get out of hand for sure. So
right now, yeah. And, you know, it feels as though watching the Longhorns that they were well prepared for this 2-3 zone that Mountain Crest has been putting out. Yeah. Watching the broadcast, I don't know if I'm doing it enough justice. It is, I mean, fast passing, textbook breaking down a zone right now. Yeah. I would really think that maybe perhaps to give something different of a look, the Mustangs can come out with man just to kind of switch things up, or even go, you know, 3-2 zone just to give something different right now.
Something a little bit different. Well, and they're letting their big men are getting open on that baseline. They're actually lucky that 21 has missed so many shots. He's had a lot of looks underneath there. But anyway, it's Mountain Crest's got plenty of time. They've just got to start chipping away.
Yeah, they're down 15. Absolutely, it's not, you know, the end of the world. But if you could get this thing to single digits before the half, that would be great. Here's Andrus at the top of the arc, gives the quick chest pass to the right side wing, extended. Smith looking for somebody. Dimitrikov pops out. Looked like there was an intended, you know, setup, and Smith ducks his head, fades away. Good pro move from the mid post. Buries it from 5 feet out. There's some good points for the Mustangs.
And it looks like Mountain Crest has changed over to man.
There you go.
Ooh.
And it bounces off a referee. It's kicked then by Slaw.
Isn't the referee out of bounds?
I think so. I'm pretty sure. I want to say that the ball hit the referee, did it not?
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
And that should have been out of bounds. And it was Westfield that knocked it to the referee.
All right. Andrus throws into the backcourt for Smith. Calls out the offense now. Man defense shown by the Longhorns as well. Pugmire fakes the screen, pops out to the right side. All alone, here's Andrus, now Pugmire. Pass is just a hair off, they can't go. Here is Martinson driving, his shot will not go. Pugmire with the putback, can't get that one either.
Just so close on both of those shots.
1:45 remaining. Down the lane goes Daxton Laughter, and he adds to his point total. Orange C split open for him, and he took advantage of it. Andrus, near side, wiggles his way out of the press, gives it to Dimitrikov at the free throw line, who will drive against Milan, and he will be fouled on the right side of the key.
So one of the things that Mountain Crest really needs to do, and this last play was perfect, they passed down to Dimitrikov. Nobody moved.
Yeah.
Everybody stayed out
Kinda
on
watched.
the perimeter, and Dimitrikov didn't immediately make a move underneath to pull anybody in. You have to keep moving. I'm sure that's what Smith's offense has, you somebody moving through in that situation.
Dimitrikov goes 1 for 2 at the line. Jump ball between Pugmire and Milan will point the way of the Longhorns. So 14-point lead. You want to get together a run here in the last 80 seconds.
You've got to.
I think if you get this thing to single digits, you're feeling really good. You do not want to go in down double. That's got to be the goal right now. Bite-sized pieces here. Get a run, get this thing to single digits. Right now, the Longhorns will get the inbound from Harrison to Laughter as he crosses the timeline from left to right on your radio dial. Quick bounce pass to the right side wing. Milan is fouled by Dimitrikov. That was a nice little bear hug there on the elbow. That will be the second team foul. Second foul against Dimitrikov. Baseline inbound coming up for the Longhorns. Laughter calling out the play. Here they go. Down screen up. Milan will get it at the top of the arc. Look for somebody else to give it to, and he finds Harrison on the right side, on the far side wing extended, excuse me. Laughter will get the ball back, reset the offense, and work to his right-hand dominant. Slaw, ball tipped and grabbed by Dimitrikov. Here he is going to the bucket. Jump stop, finds Harrison flying past him, and there's the bucket that the Mountain Crest Mustangs need. Now, to string together a little more. Can't give up that as an easy bucket. Nobody finds Milan, who is all alone underneath the basket. Puts it up and in, gives it back up to a 14-point lead. Pugmire. His pass deflected, given back. Carden goes with the around the back no look pass, and that leads to some easy points on the opposite end after the steal.
Just not quite on the game right now. They've got to start, like I said, relaxing and getting that going.
Carden bounces into Dimitrikov. He didn't even know that the ball was coming.
Good pass.
Gets a little bit of a redemption on that pass right there. Dimitrikov just didn't expect the ball there.
No.
3 seconds on the game clock. Kick it out to Harrison. Drives the baseline. Throws it up. No shot. And that will be your halftime scores. So the Mustangs do not get it within single digits. They got some buckets, but then they gave it up on the defensive end right back.
They did, yeah. But I'm going to point out, though, that man defense did slow down Westfield. That man defense finally started working a little bit better to their advantage. If they can make sure they're stopping those cuts underneath, they'll be in good shape.
All right, we'll talk a little bit more about adjustments, what we saw here in the first half. The Longhorns at home lead the Mustangs 34-20. We'll be right back here with more Mountain Crest basketball coverage on 107.7 KLZX and on CashValleyDaily.com.
Great Basin Graphics has quality screen printing, detailed embroidery, and award-winning graphic designers. The right look, the right design, the perfect fit. Get noticed with GBG. Get your order in today for spring products. Google Great Basin Graphics for screen printing and embroidery. 966 West 400 North in Logan.
Searching for copiers and printers? Les Olson IT has what you need. Find reliable HP printers, award-winning Sharp copiers, and high-end Ricoh graphic systems.
Les Olson IT.
From what's happening in local political elections, to breaking news, to photo galleries and replays of the latest games. If it's happening in our community, it's on CashValleyDaily.com and the Cache Valley Daily app. Local, relevant news on CashValleyDaily.com.
Insurance is exciting.
Are you kidding me? However, Lana Powell State Farm Insurance makes buying insurance a little less painful. Call 752-7639 for a quick quote.
They really can put your logo on just about anything. That's what they do at the Logo Shop. Businesses, teams, booster clubs, school organizations, call the Logo Shop and have them show you the possibilities. The Logo Shop, committed to schools, teams, and youth groups.
When a client walks into the office, I want them to feel like they have a team that is full-time working for them.
We really start from the ground up, setting our goals, understanding your situation, and then building the plan to maximize that quality of life.
Visit Adams Wealth Advisors.
At Planet Fitness, you'll get energy without the judgment.
Hi, can you help me with this? This is better.
Join the judgment-free zone today for $15 a month. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
The Mountain Crest Booster Club encourages you to support the sponsors that support the Mustangs. Scabland Roofing, Pool Orthodontics, Reed's Pharmacy, Airbound Gymnastics, Blue Water Construction, Mitco Landscaping, and Ridley's Market. To join the Mountain Crest Booster Club, contact the Mountain Crest Athletic Department and support the sponsors that support the Mustangs.
Suit up, feel good. Custom tailored clothing for him and her. The Cater Shop, because how you look is the first message you deliver.
Find the parts and the oil you need to keep your car and equipment running its best at your locally owned Napa Auto Parts. All the best brand names. And when you need professional help, Napa can recommend a dozen Napa Car Care Centers with ASE certified technicians.
Welcome back here to the halftime show today between the Westfield Longhorns and the Mountain Crest Mustangs, brought to you in part by Planet Fitness. Get energy without the punishment. Join the judgment-free zone for just $15 a month. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all. Big fitness energy. Big fitness energy. We are here at halftime. The Westfield Longhorns lead the visiting Mountain Crest Mustangs 34-20 in a game really, this first half has come out. And, you know, if we did the Venn diagram, you know, visually in your mind, it just seems like there is not a lot that Westfield's done wrong tonight so far, and that's really led them to being up 14. Mountain Crest has a lot to improve upon, and I think that they can do so at halftime. You know, just settling in, getting those passes going, bunnies missed. These are common things that we've continued to talk about throughout the season. But it's what's so interesting is that it's not like they're being out hustled. They're not, you know, out, you know, it's not like a lack of talent, because I think that Mountain Crest has comparable, if not more. It's just the simple things of basketball are prohibiting them from catching up here, at least what we saw in the first half.
Yeah, exactly. And I've got some interesting numbers that kind of follow up exactly with that. So for Mountain Crest, Dimitrikov leads the Mustangs with 9 points. A quiet 9 points.
Right? That's,
you know
that's about that's half of the production, right?
Right.
Like,
that's half of your production. And then the rest is spread out. Corden has a 3. Martin has 4 points. Mason has 2. Andrus has 1. You know, it's just like, then it's spread out. And these are not official. I'd like to point that out. Very not official because, you know.
Listen to the broadcast at your own responsible risk. Right?
But on the other side, Westfield has 2 players that are right near. Well, they've got Laughter, who is at double digits. Slaw, who is at 8, almost at double digits. And then it's spread out a little bit throughout that. Those are your 2 leaders from there. This is the part that really stands out. First of all, I don't have numbers for it, but Westfield got a lot of second chances on buckets. It's one thing that we harp on all the time, that Mountain Crest has got to do a better job of scooping up those the rebounds down there.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is Mountain Crest has 9 turnovers to Westfield's 4. Again, that's a number that, you know, is very telling in this. They're not taking care of the ball right now, Mountain Crest. So coming out, they really need to take care of the ball first and foremost, work their offense, get that shot, and, you know, work, like Coach said, as a team. You mentioned, you know, a couple things. Dimitrikov, who is their highest scorer right now, 2 things. You know, one, he wasn't looking for the ball, but he ended up getting it. was able to make that basket, luckily. And the other thing, too, that we talk about with several of the Mountain Crest players, the double clutch or not going directly to the basket.
Yep.
There's been a couple times tonight where they just need to go to the basket.
Yep.
Don't hold on to it. Don't double pump. Just go to the basket.
Yeah.
So,
and I think you'll get rewarded with, at the very least, free throws tonight.
Free throws,
like
right.
it's gonna happen. But
right. You got to power through, because as a defense, honestly, if you can get in an offense's head that you're coming down on them and they can't get that out of the head, you're not going to be able to make shots. You can't make shots with that kind of mentality going on.
If you don't have your first look as a viable threat going to the basket, you lose 80% of your advantage going to the rack. Those are statistics made up by me, Cody Olson, but I'm pretty sure that Coach K would say the same thing. So, like, whatever. My two things that I would love to be able to see, you touched up on them, I'm going to basically reiterate them. I want to see movement away from the ball on offense.
Yes.
And I want to see if we have a final turnover total for the Mustangs below 15.
Yeah.
I think that you're going to be in a spot to win this game.
Yeah.
I think that you're going to come down to, I think you're going to be competitive in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
If you are above 15, I don't think that we're going to be having a conversation where we're going to be calling a possible game-winning shot or, a win. So 15, I think, is going to be the number that you're going to be looking for.
And I think, and on top of all of those things, which I agree with all of those, if going into the fourth quarter, if you're not at least within single digits, it's going to make it very impossible to win this game for Mountain Crest. They have got to, come out and play their game and get in at least tie, or at the very least get it below double digits.
Yep.
To turn the fourth quarter into something.
Yeah, and we know Mountain Crest can make a run.
Yeah.
We know that they can get red hot. These are two teams that we know can just turn on and off like a light switch.
Yep.
So we'll take the break, come back in about 60 seconds, get ready for the third quarter, our second half, see if Mountain Crest can adjust and do those things, and I'll listen to the big voices upstairs and see what we can do as we get ready for more action here on the hardwood on 107.7 KLZX, a Cache Valley Daily production of Mountain Crest Mustang basketball.
Great Basin Graphics has quality screen printing, detailed embroidery, and award-winning graphic designers. The right look, the right design, the perfect fit. Get noticed with GBG. Get your order in today for spring products. Google Great Basin Graphics for screen printing and embroidery. 966 West 400 North in Logan.
Searching for copiers and printers? Les Olson IT has what you need. Find reliable HP printers, award-winning sharp copiers, and high-end Ricoh graphic systems.
Les Olson IT.
From what's happening in local political elections, to breaking news, to photo galleries and replays of the latest games. If it's happening in our community, it's on CacheValleyDaily.com and the Cache Valley Daily app. Local, relevant news on CacheValleyDaily.com.
We welcome you back here to Westfield High School in Taylor, Utah. We're excited to get you more action here on the hardwood as we get the teams puttering on out here. It will be Mountain Crest that will start off with the basketball on the far sideline. It'll be Noah Carden to inbound to Mason Smith in his own backcourt, and we are underway of the second half. A little bit of a mountain to climb here for the Mustangs as we get a quick whistle on the first pass of the game. And we get a quick check to the near side timeline.
They did something with the shot clock.
Something with the shot clock. It didn't start maybe in time or something like that.
Something like that.
It's a tough job. I don't want to do the shot clock. It's not an envious job for me.
No, doesn't sound fun.
Smith looking for Dimitrikov. We'll go with the cross-court pass to Carden. Good, crisp passing. Larson went in, had some room, but just lost his footing.
Yeah.
Just
Slipped a little bit.
Just that little thing.
Yep.
It's prohibiting buckets here for the Mustangs. Cross over to the right side for Sloss. Step back, long two, no good. Ball tipped around, and it will go out of bounds. Off of a Mustang, says our official. And we'll stay with the Longhorns on the far side. Set to inbound, Slaw. It's it to Daxton Laughter, the leader in terms of points for the Longhorns. He's been a great facilitator and offensive threat. Good steal by Dimitrikov. cutting off the backdoor cut on the near side. Gives it back to the Mustangs as they run the court again from left to right. Dribble handoff. Carden steps back. Here is Pugmire spinning, going in. Lost it initially. Gets rejected here by Harrison, and now Smith will go back down the line after tracking down the loose ball. Lost it again and just doesn't know where to go with the basketball.
But they are moving better.
Yep.
I'm going to point that out. The Mount Crest is moving better on offense.
Laughter. Gets it to the far side corner for Fowers and then resets after the reception back. 34-20, no points in the first minute 20. Somehow keeping his dribble is Fowers. Chest pass to Harrison, and then another reset with 13 seconds on the shot clock. Laughter, guarded by Smith. Jabs right, gets a screen at the top from Harrison, and we get a late whistle on Smith. It will be a hand check foul. His first, and it will reset the shot clock for the Longhorns.
Mount Crest, much more intense on defense. I like it.
A little bit more urgency here shown by the Mustangs. Laughter coming off the screen, mid-range jumper, and will miss everything. Daxton Laughter closed out well, and they're going to say he touched it last. It will go out of bounds on the air ball. Smith lobbing it up for Larson. Brings it back down to his body and then gives it back to his point guard. Carden stopping before he crosses the half-court line, and he is stolen away. Quickly the other way are the Longhorns. Speedy Gonzalez near side. Right side wing three, open, it will not go. Good look for the Longhorns, but no dice. Larson fouled on the drive near the left side elbow on the reach-in. First foul against the Longhorns. It will go on number 4, Jackson Slaw.
I like the hustle Mountain Crest is showing. Now they've just got to make the baskets.
We got to get some offense rolling here. The defense is coming together. The offense needs to go. Dimitrikov lost it. Ping-pongs around a couple different feet between Pugmire and Nico. Stopping, sliding to his right, gets fouled on the scoop attempt. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I really like that because you're going to go in, you got to go in strong, and you're either going to make it or get the foul on that. So,
I love Nico's game so much.
I do.
I appreciate so much what he's trying to do as he makes his first free throw. I want, maybe this is the coach coming out in me, because I coach basketball. He goes with that, scooping layup falling away.
Right.
I'd love to see a little bit of a dream shake where he can come back to the basket. We get a lane violation on the second free throw attempt, and Dimitrikov had missed it, so he gets his mulligan.
Get a second one. Yep.
It tends to be his go-to move, which is just fine. I just want to see a wrinkle on it, and I think his game would go from just hit the rafters.
Yeah. Yep.
Mason Smith is going to get a warning. No, he's going to get a foul for slapping the ball out of bounds. Maybe?
I don't know. I did
see
see down
him
at my paper, and I saw that's who the foul was on. But.
Made basket on the free throw, and our official comes and gives the number 10 to the media bench, but no foul was assessed, at least on the scoreboard here in the gymnasium. Harrison almost has that ball kicked out from behind. The freshman for 3 is wide left. And another rebound for the Mustangs. Down 12. So the defense has worked well. Deflection. Mason Smith is needs to get pulled out of the game, I think.
He's fired up.
He is fired up. He's getting intense.
But
I think he's getting too much intense.
You don't want to go over.
He's talking.
He's still talking with number 4. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the talking. Talking's fine. It's when you bump chests with him. Is like, oh, okay, we should probably slow this down a little bit. Carden for 3 on the kick out from Dimitrikov. Misses everything. Pugmire goes up with it and is rejected by the bottom of the rim. Deflected out of bounds. Last touched by the Longhorns. Smith looking, throws it out of bounds. Could not find his intended man. Out on the floor, we get a first look at Jackson Brands, the sophomore guard. First time we've seen him in a Mustang uniform, at least in a varsity setting.
Yeah.
So Brands out on the floor for the Mustangs. We get a couple different looks. Pugmire over pursues off of Harrison. Well beyond the key. Gives the pass off, going opposite of the screen. Caught up. So it's been a scoring drought here for the Longhorns. Harrison thought about the three, shuffles in,
nice
is stripped
steal.
away by Brands. So the sophomore making his presence felt. He's going to go with the transition three, and it misses wide right.
A little too much excitement there.
Earned it to take that shot. It's been almost 4 minutes of basketball. Here's the quick tip-off. Dimitrikov with the rejection. It's been 4 minutes of no points for Westfield, but the caveat is Mustangs have only scored 2 in that 4 minutes as well.
They have not taken advantage of that, but they are getting better. Defensively. Offensively, still got to get that ball to drop.
Carden looking for somebody. Dimitrikov is double teamed. It seems as though the Longhorns have found out where they're going. Smith has that ball deflected on his shot. Pugmire on the secondary reaction and assist from Dimitrikov into the lane. So the Mustangs cut it to 10. It's been a slow quarter for the Longhorns. They're looking for points of their own. Been a little bit of a slog for both teams, only 2 field goal makes. There's another block by Dimitrikov, and he's going to get him with the body afterwards. Looks really cool.
Looked really cool.
But not clean enough. I mean, I give him some, you know, in my heart it counted, Nico. In my heart it counted.
And that's 3 for Dimitrikov. So
you got to protect that.
Got to protect that.
I think Pugmire has played pretty well. I don't make coaching decisions. Here's Harrison. His free throw up and good. Andrus and Larson will set to check in. Out comes Smith and Dimitrikov. And I don't mind that because I think Pugmire's held his own and he's been aggressive. You want to protect those 2 fouls for Nico. He's played such a huge part in this game. Maybe send him back in at the beginning of the 4th quarter, maybe.
Yeah, depending upon how it goes for these next 3 minutes.
Second shot down and in. So 36-24. Larson bounce pass to Carden. Here's some opportunities. Layup and the alley-oop. Pugmire cannot grab it. The opposite way is an overthrown pass from the freshman. Faddis for Slaw, and it will go out of bounds. Mustangs get a break. Oh, that's what the Mustangs needed that.
Yes, they did need that break right there. And again, you end up with some good looks at the basket if you can break that trap.
Well, Mustangs able to break the press. Andrus on the far side, who's been held to a quiet 1 point tonight. High off the glass, flying in his Carden. And he got our player of the game against Preston.
He did.
Last time we called the Mustangs, and you know, if he can get hot now, it'd be good. Back to a 10-point lead. Breaking it down little by little. Harrison gets past Pugmire and the easy deuce over the top on the right side.
Yeah, just lost him there.
Brands dribbling through pressure. Gets it to Larson. Back to Brands. Crossing half court. Now to Pugmire on the wing side to Larson. Able to wrestle away the basketball. Numbers. Brands for 3. Missing the front side of the rim beyond the perimeter.
But still, the basket's just not falling for Mountain Crest right now.
Faddis stepping through the double team at the free throw line. And then a reset here for the Longhorns. So it's kind of been a give and take 3rd quarter. Slow points in a slow moving game. Neither team really able to take advantage, at least up until this point, with 2 minutes left in the 3rd. Brands closing out. Quick pass to the inside of the key. No good. Larson, the rebound. Mustangs driving in, throwing it up, and the foul. And that was a no hesitation drive to the basket. And you get rewarded with free throws for Braden Larson.
Yep, exactly. That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
That will be the 3rd foul on Kason Milan for Westfield, 3rd of the quarter. Shot is up and bricks off the back iron. And the free throw shooting hasn't been good either for the Mustangs.
They haven't.
You're trying to find something to hang your hat on and say, oh, we did great in this area. It's just been, everything has just been a little bit below par tonight.
Yep.
Second shot, also off the back iron, no good for Larson. So fruitless on that free throw trip for the Mustangs.
You have got to take advantage of that when you make it to the line.
Being down double digits for the majority of the game, you can't give up free points, as Kai Passy has checked into the ball game. Larson will get called for the blocking foul, trying to step in front of Jackson Slaw. That will be the Mustangs' 4th team foul.
One more and they'll go to the line. Mount Crest got to keep an eye on that.
Ball, tightrope walking the half-court line was laughter on the inbound. Able to get it and keep it. Faddis. Pass and screen 2. Harrison taking it to Passy. Good defense underneath. Faddis, bounce pass out. Good look, launch the 3. Yes. Good ball movement for the Longhorns. Carden caught up in some traffic. Kick ball on Jordan Harrison. The Mustangs needing to find some answers, down 41-26 and risking dropping their 2nd region game here in the month. Andrus stops the dribble, rugby-style pitch to Brands, and then it will work its way around the horn. Carden spinning, falling away, everything but the bucket, tipped around and out. Last touch by Kai Passy.
Still, just not quite there. They're defensively, Mount Crest doing much better job, but offensively still struggling to get that ball.
The big position held down by Kai Passy and Parker Andrus. Off the screen, Carden. Harrison is fouled from behind. On the block,
by Larson.
And that should be free throws coming up for the Longhorns.
Which is not where you want them to go. With less than a minute left in the third.
No. And they're going to say, actually, this is the 4th team foul against Mountain Crest, so they can give up one more with 52 seconds left. Carden's going to come out on the floor for the Mustangs. It is Smith, Andrus, Martinson, Passy, and Brands. Harrison, inside feed. Outside, the big three-point shot by Kaysen Milan finds its mark, and now Westfield threatening to really go out in front. Ball goes in and out of the hands of Andrus, ends up in the arms of Martinson, and it is blocked at the pinnacle by Cole McCormick, who gives off the cool guy shrug off as he goes. Inbound coming up. Passy leaves his feet, but he gets it up and in. Good find on the inbound play for the Mustangs. 44-28, 22 seconds left in the third, and the Longhorns will dribble in the half circle and bring it down for a last shot. It's been a tough quarter again for both teams. Westfield had finally found the offense. Mountain Crest losing it just a little bit, giving up the quarter by 2. Long 3 again, front of the rim, no good, tipped around and out. Buzzer will sound. Martinson actually gets it off, but
nope, no good.
It will fall too long and bounce off the backboard. Into the 4th we go. Longhorns 44, Mountain Crest 28. They trail by 16. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here with more Mountain Crest basketball coverage on 107.7 KLZX and CashValleyDaily.com.
Great Basin Graphics has quality screen printing, detailed embroidery, and award-winning graphic designers. The right look, the right design, the perfect fit. Get noticed with GBG. Get your order in today for spring products. Google Great Basin Graphics for screen printing and embroidery. 966 West 400 North in Logan.
Searching for copiers and printers? Les Olson IT has what you need. Find reliable HP printers, award-winning Sharp copiers, and high-end Ricoh graphic systems.
Les Olson IT.
Welcome back here to Taylor, Utah, as we get ready for the start of our fourth quarter. Coach, you just told me about the point totals for both teams, and I think it tells a little bit of a story. Does it not?
So, on the plus side,
for the third quarter, this
is just the third quarter. For the plus side, Mountain Crest held Westfield to 7 points, which is what you needed to do defensively. Unfortunately, they only scored 6, so now they're one more point behind in a quarter where they really had the opportunity to take advantage of that. So, again, it's not out of reach with 8 minutes left, but it would take something completely different than what we've seen in the first 3 quarters.
Do you have a turnover total for the Mustangs right now as we keep a count?
11.
11. Okay.
Total.
11 points. And it was an unprecedented quarter where both teams really didn't get a whole lot going into the basket, but it was both set up. Here's a great setup for 3 for Laughter, and he can't get that bucket to go. Driving in and kicking back out for Slaw. Inside, back to Laughter, who drives the baseline. Back out to Slaw. Now Harrison. Unselfish basketball by Westfield. Driving inwards, down to the near side. Milan is going to take the shot, and he capitalizes that offensive set.
Well played.
Mountain Crest a little bit on skates that entire time due to the passing of Westfield. Brands, lob to Andrus. And we get a point to the shot clock, and it will be a 10-second violation. In the nick of time, Westfield harasses the backcourt of Mountain Crest just enough to get the turnover. Make that 12 turnovers now for the Mustangs.
Yep.
7 minutes and 10 seconds remaining here in the fourth as the Longhorns will take their time to set up the offense. Both of the bigs come up to the top of the wing. On the elbows, it will be a long shot for Laughter from the free throw line. It will rim out and high on the rebound for Andrus. Smith, jump stop, bounce pass to Brands in the near side corner. Now cross court, and it is intercepted by McCormick. Able to track it with his eyes, steps in front of it. Milan underneath, spinning away, floating it over the top of Dimitrikov, and things are starting to get a little bit ugly. Up 20, the Longhorns over the visiting Mountain Crest Mustangs with 6:35 remaining. Smith to Dimitrikov. Slow basketball. It looks like Mountain Crest kind of turns away from the action sometimes. It's just not been their night. Here's Martinson driving to the right-hand dominant at the top of the key. Nowhere really to go. Brands, no hesitation 3, and it is airmailed and rebounded back by the Mustangs, then stolen back by the Longhorns. Getting out of the triple team is Laughter, and his laser beam pass for Milan is too much spice, and it'll go out of his hands and out of bounds. We should have had a radar gun for that thing. That was coming out like 100 miles an hour.
Yep. We got Pugmire coming in for Andrus, and I didn't see who the other one was.
Martinson, Smith, Carden, Pugmire, and Dimitrikov out on the floor for the Mustangs. Smith, one-on-one versus Harrison. Driving right, flips it back to Martinson. Could have got away with the travel there. No whistle as the Mustangs set back up. Carden for 3, and again it is short. Not the shot that they wanted. Unselfish basketball. Milan attacks the rim, and it is missed. Good contest by Pugmire. Feed Dimitrikov on the near side block. Stepping, drop step underneath by Harrison, and he will go over the top and get his points. So I believe that sends Dimitrikov into the
double digits
with that shot.
Yep.
No points in the third quarter, however, for Dimitrikov as he had to sit on the bench and kind of nurse those 2 fouls.
Yeah.
Or 3 fouls, rather.
3 fouls, yeah.
2 remaining to give. Slaw driving, goes up at Dimitrikov. A lot of contact, no whistle, and it will go off the foot of the Longhorns. It'll go to the Mustangs. The freshman, Drew Faddis, will come in for Harrison, who's done a pretty good job tonight. He'll get a applause as he comes to the bench. And the Mustangs will take it from their own backcourt down 18 with 5 minutes remaining here in the fourth. Smith throws it up for Pugmire, who underneath the basket will fall away, and the shot will not go down and in. Dimitrikov gets it back, and it will dance on the rim as well. Won't go. 2 good looks, not into the bucket.
Nope, just struggling.
Around the back, and another forced error intended for the man in the corner, Drew Faddis, on Jackson Slaw. Timeout taken by the Longhorns. We'll go ahead and take it as well. Come back right after this. The Mustangs trail by 18. Do they got a miracle in them? We'll find out right after this on CashValleyDaily.com.
Great Basin Graphics has quality screen printing, detailed embroidery, and award-winning graphic designers. The right look, the right design, the perfect fit. Get noticed with GBG. Get your order in today for spring products. Google Great Basin Graphics for screen printing and embroidery. 966 West 400 North in Logan.
Searching for copiers and printers? Les Olson IT has what you need. Find reliable HP printers, award-winning sharp copiers, and high-end Ricoh graphic systems.
Les Olson IT.
From what's happening in local political elections, to breaking news, to photo galleries and replays of the latest games. If it's happening in our community, it's on CashValleyDaily.com and the Cache Valley Daily app. Local, relevant news on CashValleyDaily.com.
Insurance is exciting.
Are you kidding me? However, Lana Powell's State Farm Insurance makes buying insurance a little less painful. Call 752-7639 for a quick quote.
4:41 left here in the fourth quarter. The Mustangs down 18 in the first inaugural meeting against the Longhorns of Westfield. And right now they're looking as though they're going to go into the win column to start this series off. Mustangs will start off 2-3 zone shown by the Longhorns. A lot of action here to the near side. Martinson. Backdoor cut. Smith. It's tipped around and deflected, taken away, and the foul by Smith really out of frustration as he tries to get it back.
Frustration foul, which is too bad because, it's so tough to come out and struggle like this. Mm-hmm. Especially when they know, we know, this is a much better team than this.
Yeah,
so.
That's right. And we get a discussion by our officials here as they meet on the Longhorn logo.
That's the one thing I was going to tell you. You mentioned, many schools will copy NFL teams, college teams.
Yeah.
It's a lot cheaper to get
That's
your
actually
equipment,
true. That's
your equipment made when there's already a logo for it.
That is true.
So, and I'm not saying they're cheap. I'm just saying that's how high schools usually go.
Buy in bulk. And another foul after the freshman Faddis gets the inlet pass on the block, gets collapsed in on. Is that another one?
Smith.
That will be 2 fouls.
Really quick on
in
Smith.
The approximate time of 5 seconds. That's his 3rd foul given. Laughter. Nobody open initially, throws it up and over the top for McCormick, who will drive inside, kick back out to Milan, and the Longhorns really seem as though that they're going to take the shot clock down as much as they can. They had a couple open looks. Here's Pugmire with the steal. He's got an open lane, up and down. No! Rejected by the rim on the dunk attempt. Oh my goodness, it's just been symbolic.
That is just so symbolic of the game tonight for poor Mountain Crest, who struggled. And we hurt so much for the kids while they're struggling out there. I'll tell you, we just love these kids, and it's so hard to see them struggle.
That's another foul on Mason Smith. That will be his 3rd given in about 25 seconds. What I do like is that I think that Pugmire, he knows he has that ability in him, and I want him to do it again. I just don't even think twice about it. Don't even think twice about it.
No, because
Pugmire plays so much better when I've seen him play with confidence these last couple games.
Right. He has come a long ways along, Pugmire has.
And I really, truly believe that Pugmire's ceiling is going to be really an all-Valley and all-state player if he's going to continue to make the jumps that he does.
Yeah.
Like this. Coming around the screen and then to the near side. Slaw into the middle for Faddis, and it's tipped around and grabbed by the Longhorns again. Driving the far side baseline, back out. 7 on the shot clock, long 3. Settling in and nestling at home is the freshman, Drew Faddis.
He's got a shot. His legs are so far apart when he shoots that three-pointer.
Right. Missed shot opportunity, rebounded back by the Longhorns. Faddis again driving, running the court, and gets the left-hand layup. And now the lid has come off for really opportunity in this game. We'll go ahead and see some substitutions for the Mustangs. We'll go ahead and see Easton Hendry, the sophomore guard, at the next dead ball. Dimitrikov back to Martinson. Now Larson for three, rising, and it will come in and out. Martinson driving in again, and he will be fouled on that drive after the offensive rebound attempt. 53-30, and then what was a possibility sitting around 15 points late in the fourth quarter now's ballooned out to 23. Now what do you need to see here in the last 2 minutes and 25 seconds, really, if you're Mountain Crest?
You know what? Just work on your game and stay out of your head and stay out of your way. Don't get frustration fouls out there. You know, it's so easy. And that's so easy for me to say.
Right.
An old man up here. When I was a teenager, I couldn't control my fouls at that point. Heck no. I wanted to go out and
As someone who drove with him on the way here, his road rage is out of this world as well. I mean,
no.
Can't control any. I'm just kidding. 2:15 remaining here in the fourth quarter as the Longhorns will set up the offense. At the top, McCormick driving with the right-hand side. The backdoor cut not open as Harrison, who checked back into the ball game, gets it back. And the Longhorns will just go ahead and play keep away from beyond the perimeter as it will tick down underneath 7 seconds on the shot clock. They got to look for something open now, and it's going to come off of the arms of Slaw, fading away, and it will hit the front of the rim and go out of bounds.
And we're going to see a few more Mustangs come in.
So Dimitrikov comes out, Passy comes in, Andrus will come out, and we're going to go ahead and see another new face in Corbin Stewart. Now, Corbin played a little bit in the Preston game as well. I was impressed with his play.
Yeah.
And out comes on the substitution Daxton Laughter, who has just played the point guard position masterfully tonight for the Longhorns as well. He'll get a standing ovation from the hometown crowd. Kick out three is no good off the front of the rim by Brands. Now here's Stewart, and his shot will go down and in.
Good shot by Stewart.
Stewart comes into this game really as an unknown for me, but I got to be honest, I didn't tag him as maybe a three-point shooter. He hits one there and says, look what I can do. You don't know me or my story. Here is Faddis, who's already hit a three of his own. He'll kick out to the near side corner for another player for the Longhorns. That was a miss by Gavin Ortigan. Brands has that ball swiped and swatted into the Mountain Crest cheer section. Did we get a cheerleader who caught that in the chin?
No, on the top of her head.
Oh, no.
She's okay.
She's good.
She gives us the thumbs up. She's good.
Oh, good.
That could really hurt.
That could have really shaved her head, really, if it was.
Really.
Here's a step-in three from Brands, and there's the one that he was looking for all night. He's had a couple chances to do it. Finally gets it down and in. 38-53, and we get a timeout with 54 seconds left on the floor by the Longhorns. We'll take the quick breather. Remind you that you should stay with us for the post-game show brought to you by DD Auto and Salvage. We'll give our player of the game, tell you what Mountain Crest's next games are, and also tell you a little bit more about what you should be looking forward to for the month of January and what you can hear from us. This is a 60-second timeout. We'll come right back after this.
Great Basin Graphics has quality screen printing, detailed embroidery, and award-winning graphic designers. The right look, the right design, the perfect fit. Get noticed with GBG. Get your order in today for spring products. Google Great Basin Graphics for screen printing and embroidery. 966 West 400 North in Logan.
Searching for copiers and printers? Les Olson IT has what you need. Find reliable HP printers, award-winning sharp copiers, and high-end Ricoh graphic systems.
Les Olson IT.
We welcome you back here into the broadcast booth. The final minute left of regulation here at just a hair before the 7 p.m. mark here in Westfield. It is the Longhorns that have dominated this game and really have never given up the lead once in it. They lead 53-38. And we'll go ahead in the post-game show, tell you a little bit more about Mountain Crest's schedule. Hopefully we can get some score updates and other such things, maybe. Here's a kick out 3 on the wraparound pass. No good. Brands can't bring it down into his body. It will stay back to the Longhorns, and he'll get sandwiched between Stewart and Brands.
So Mountain Crest will be home on the 8th versus Bear River.
Yep.
And then the next 2 games, the 10th and the 15th, they go to Skyview and then to Ridgeline, which will be 2 really tough games for Mountain Crest and Bear River as well.
Didn't Skyview beat Ridgeline earlier this week? Or is I want to say
I think at one of the first games of the season, Skyview did beat Ridgeline. Ridgeline has lost once.
I thought there was an upset in the region earlier this week, and I can't for the life of me remember what that game was. So.
Right. And then back home for Westfield at Logan, and then home versus Green Canyon at Bear River, and then 2 home games to finish out the season, Skyview and Ridgeline. So it's region play now. It's not going to be easy.
Brands gets the bucket at the buzzer, and the final score will read Westfield 53, Mountain Crest 40. That is your final score. Mountain Crest will drop to 1-2 in region play, 5-9 overall. As for the Westfield Longhorns, they will go to 7-8, I believe, with this win. Don't go anywhere. We'll come back for the post-game show, tell you a little bit more about our thoughts to the game, give you our player of the game, and wrap things up for you. This has been a Cache Valley daily production of Mountain Crest Mustang basketball on 107.7 KLZX and on the flagship website, CacheValleyDaily.com. We'll be right back after this.
Great Basin Graphics has quality screen printing, detailed embroidery, and award-winning graphic designers. The right look, the right design, the perfect fit. Get noticed with GBG. Get your order in today for spring products. Google Great Basin Graphics for screen printing and embroidery. 966 West 400 North in Logan.
Searching for copiers and printers? Les Olson IT has what you need. Find reliable HP printers, award-winning Sharp copiers, and high-end Ricoh graphic systems.
Les Olson IT.
From what's happening in local political elections, to breaking news, to photo galleries and replays of the latest games. If it's happening in our community, it's on CacheValleyDaily.com and the Cache Valley Daily app. Local, relevant news on CacheValleyDaily.com.
Insurance is exciting.
Are you kidding me? However, Lana Powell State Farm Insurance makes buying insurance a little less painful. Call 752-7639 for a quick quote.
Welcome back here to the post-game show. Tonight, the Mountain Crest Mustangs fall in their first inaugural game ever to the Westfield Longhorns on the hardwood, 53-40. It was a big game for Daxton Laughter, who led all scores tonight, I believe, with 15.
I believe so. Yes.
He did a great job, and I don't think that his best work was really in terms of points scored. His facilitation of the offense was just masterful. It looked like John Stockton out there tonight. For the Mountain Crest Mustangs, they struggled a little bit overall in this game. Mm-hmm. Just kind of a below par, like a C- game in almost all aspects.
Yeah.
There's so much. They're capable of so much more, and we talked about that on the broadcast. We're not going to harp on these boys at all. To get back-to-back games is hard in general, but you just want to see the boys play to their highest potential, and it didn't feel like we saw anywhere near that tonight.
No, not tonight. They really struggled all the way across the board, and usually you have a night where one or two of your kids may struggle, and then other people can step up, but just everybody
kind of
really felt like they were playing in mud.
Yeah.
Usually that's a football term.
Right. It felt pertinent, I guess, to talk about it tonight.
Really did, so.
Well, that is it will drop the Mustangs in the loss column one more to 1-2 in region play. Looking forward, let's go ahead and give our player of the game, brought to you in part by Young Toyota and Young Honda. For 100 years delivering an exceptional customer experience, think young, drive young, and we got to give it probably to the one kid that, had double-digit points
Yeah.
tonight, really. Nico played a very quiet game.
Yeah, he
but
did.
He led the team in most aspects in rebounds and in scoring tonight.
Yeah, he did. He was the only one that was only one of the players that was even close to his regular point total, and even he was held a little bit low. But yeah, so and like you say, it was quiet.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He did a great job, but it was just nothing was working for poor Mountain Crest tonight, unfortunately. So, but yep, Dimitrikov gets the player of the game. He was the only thing that kept Mountain Crest in this game. So,
in a lot of aspects. So you'll go ahead and hear from us on the 8th of January, as we will go ahead and call the game versus Bear River. In the meantime, you'll have a couple other region games away for you to enjoy. So on behalf of all of us here at CashValleyDaily.com and on 107.7 KLZX, I'm Cody Olson. That there is my colleague and partner, Coach Olson, to my left, our color analyst, and then a big shout out and thank you to Annie Olson tonight for being our audio-visual technician here on site. We say thank you very much, and as always, go Mustangs.
Great Basin Graphics has quality screen printing, detailed embroidery, and award-winning graphic designers. The right look, the right design, the perfect fit. Get noticed with